This episode has been brought to you by Manscaped. The new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and turn the page on confidence this year. Go to manscaped.com, use the code GOLTS20 for 20% off plus free shipping today. This week on the Heart of the Gulch YouTube show, we sit down with musician/songwriter Kat Velasco. In today's Walk the Line episode, we follow Kat as she performs for her headlining debut at the historic Exit Inn. Let's check out the episode. We are in the heart of the Gulch. I'm your host, Tony Mendoza, but you already know that. So today, I got a gorgeous lady, a gorgeous songwriter from Columbia, South Carolina.
Yes.
We got the one and only Kat Velasco in the building. What's going on, Kat?
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
I am excited that you're here. I mean, you've officially moved to Nashville only around 6 months ago?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like the past 2 years I've been back and forth. I would do like 5 or 6 months at a time, but officially like pulled the plug on everything else and just was like, I need to be planted in Nashville and be putting my roots down there.
What's it like to, because you visited the Music City before.
Right.
And, what is it like to finally be here in Nashville, downtown,
right,
and just, feeling the energy of the city?
I absolutely love it. I feel like it's a city like no other. I've done a lot of traveling and, living in a city is very different from visiting a city. But, one of my biggest things was like, everyone said when you get to Nashville, you'll know if it's right for you. And I'm like, well, that's terrifying, signing a lease and like just moving, driving a U-Haul, 8 hours. But I moved in, and the moment I moved in, I knew like it was like something in my heart was like, this is where you're supposed to be. And it was like a sense of home and like a sense I've never had before. And now when I go back home, whether it's Charleston or it's Columbia, I'm like, nothing compares. I can't wait to get back. Yeah.
Coming from Columbia, South Carolina, you didn't go to the Gamecocks.
No.
You went to Alabama.
I know. I didn't get in. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. That's
no
like,
way.
It was a little bit like, I was always like the girl who was like, I'm not going to USC. Like, but my dad was he graduated from University of South Carolina, and my mom went to Columbia College. She was a vocal major. So like they met down, like,
very Southern.
Hootie and the Blowfish was playing.
Yeah.
In the bars before they were Hootie and the Blowfish. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
when my parents were like cheering them on. So that is like, for me, I was like, I'm not going there. I'm going to go somewhere different. But when I got that letter that said I didn't get in to University of South Carolina, I was heartbroken. I definitely wanted to stay in my comfort zone. And I'm glad that I wasn't able to, because at a young age, it pushed me out of it.
I mean, first of all, that you went to Alabama, you learned how to win, first of all. So that's very true.
Yes.
But also, talking about, South Carolina and going to Alabama where it's still just as Southern.
Very Southern.
What were some of the things in Alabama? I'm guessing you rushed?
I did. I was an Alpha Phi.
Okay. What's your gang sign? Show it to me.
It's this.
That one, okay, yeah.
I've done it forever.
Yeah, there's so many. So I asked a few people, whoever rushed, they all have their things that they throw
like the
up.
Ivy Leaf.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Alabama is one of those colleges that just everything's happening around you. There's so many things, so many events. If you're in Greek life,
yeah.
And how are you able to go to school and everything in Alabama, doing all these other activities?
I'm still asking that same question. It was one of the first times in my life I realized I need to figure out balance, because there's so much going on. I mean, I know it seems like there's not a lot going on in Tuscaloosa, but when you're a freshman in a sorority and you've got like homecoming and you have like something every single week, and you got to have like study hours in, and you've got all of these, like it's a lot.
Was the TikTok rush thing that happened like 2 years ago, was that a real thing that would happen there?
That was a real thing that happened.
And that was before your time.
That was like 2 or 3 years before me. But it's huge. I mean, it's huge there. It's like, if you weren't in a sorority or a fraternity, like it was really hard to make friends. Like, and I noticed that with some of my friends and some people like in my dorm and stuff. And it was difficult because they schedule so much for you to do with your fraternity, your sorority, that, you know, you were kind of looked down upon if you were friends with people from other sororities. And I'm like, I don't play those games. Like, I'm not a cliquey person. I've always been independent person, do my own thing. I have 3 older brothers. So like, I'm telling you, like, girl cattiness drama has like never come natural for me. So it's like those type of things, like, I didn't even see coming. I think now I would be able to, you know, with pageants and then sorority, but it was not for me. I don't know. I just think it was so cliquey, and it was kind of like, it felt forced upon, but I loved Alabama. It just was, I realized quickly I was like more of a big city girl than I was a small town.
College town.
I think that's why I was so ready to get out of Columbia, South Carolina. And then I go to Alabama, that's like a very similar town. Like, there's not much in Tuscaloosa but the college. And I realized quickly, like, I want more, you know, and that's kind of where I started to be like, what am I doing?
A fun question here, and it goes back to, you know, the sorority roots. Don't name the fraternity that was the dirtiest, but how dirty are the dungeons of the fraternities?
Y'all don't even want to know.
Is it like that? But you would think that Alabama is such a recognizable school for fraternities.
Yeah.
I would think that were there some fraternities that kept it clean?
Possibly. There were some. I think it depends on the weekend, you know, so say like it's parents' weekend, spotless. But if it's like, if your mom was coming in there, spotless. But if it's like a Thursday where we're doing like, you know, it's like a swap, like a party with you go down, you try to find a bathroom on another floor. Good luck, sis. Like, good luck. It's disgusting. That's not clean.
You know, and you're not the only one. So my girlfriend's brother was in a fraternity. And, you know, he said the same thing, that it's something about the culture of just a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
But going back, all right, so outside of Alabama, let's go back to pageant.
Yeah.
Because before you were in music, you were going through, you know, the pageant lifestyle. I mean, and that's how you got to know how to speak, how to, you know, pageantry is something that a lot of people that are watching this right now, we're not pretty enough to be in pageants and things like that. Not saying that I would be in a pageant, but you know what I mean? What was it like to go through that? And, you know, what are the dirty secrets about being a pageant girl?
So I actually started with an agency when I was about like 5 or 6 years old.
Dang, you were a pretty baby.
I was, I guess my parents thought so, but I'm also the baby girl of 3 older brothers. So my mom was like putting a bow in my hair, you know, as often as she could. I'd be like rolling in the mud with a bow in my hair, you know, but so I was singing, dancing, modeling, acting from a very young age. And it's because my mom was like I said, she was a vocal major in college at Columbia College, and she was so stage fright that whenever I showed an interest in singing or dancing, she wanted to get me out there as much as I could at a young age. So I would be not nervous to go on stage because she was scared she was going to pass that down, which she did, because I still get so nervous.
Stage fright?
I get nervous.
Today?
I don't get stage fright because I literally think because she put me in on stage and performing so young, I don't get stage fright. Like, I get like the feeling in my stomach, like I want to go home, I'm going to throw up, but like it's not debilitating. If
Do you black out when you're on a stage today? So like a lot of people, really? So you're in the moment when you're on stage because you've been there for a while.
Literally in the moment. So happy because I've finally found, like, I've always known that I love being on stage, but I think I finally found where I'm supposed to be. And that's like when I will look at, you know, my guitarist or whoever I'm with, like performing, and I'll be like, isn't it crazy that like every little bit of anxiety that I have in my life completely goes away when I get on the stage and I start singing. Like, everything in my life, like I am just like so aware and I'm so present in that moment. Like I can look people in the eye. I'm not afraid to look people in what I'm saying.
Well, good. Well, that comes with the older brothers. Now, what was your talent? Because you said that you didn't start necessarily. Did you start singing then?
I started singing when I was 5.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I got involved in agencies and things like that, I started singing then. I've literally been singing since like as long as I can remember.
So what was it that really pushed you to start, taking it as a profession? So you obviously, I'm guessing it must have been after the Alabama, right? After Alabama, that's when you started focusing. I'm guessing it must have been heartbreak for a song or something, right?
Isn't it always heartbreak?
It always is.
Especially for country music. I feel like it's always heartbreak. But no, I think it was truly finding myself and knowing who I am. Like I was honestly at a place where I was like 19, 20, so confused, so lost, so depressed, did not know who I was, why I was, didn't know anything. I started journaling and like cliche country song, my first song, because me and my boyfriend had just broken up. I was like, it's my birthday. I have COVID. I'm stuck in like on my front porch, like the only place I can go. This song poured out of me because I was just waiting for his truck to pull up. Like my dog was hearing like his truck engine, like hearing truck engines at, I mean, we're in Columbia, South Carolina. There's a lot of truck engines. Yeah. So like she's hearing it and she's getting excited. And I'm like getting annoyed because I'm like, it's not him. Like he's not coming, he's not coming back. But I was like, this is the most cliche thing I think I've ever been. I mean, other than the COVID part and like it, but I was like, of course, I'm sitting on a porch bed swing that he built me and I'm waiting for his truck to pull up in Columbia, South Carolina. Like, what is my life?
Sounds like a song. And I mean, it's amazing that you're able to see that and you're able to put how you felt into a song. That is not easy to do. And then, producing it. But, talking about songs and producing, we do got to take a quick break. We got to pay the lights in this place. And we are going to talk about you transitioning from, Columbia, South Carolina to Nashville, Tennessee, where you are working on music today.
Crazy jump. Yes. Yeah. All right. See you guys soon.
All right. So we'll be right back right after this. This episode has been brought to you by Manscaped. The new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and turn the page on confidence this year. Go to manscaped.com, use the code GOLDS20 for 20% off plus free shipping today. So speaking of CRS and meeting, these people, because you got to see Lainey Wilson perform.
I did.
And what was that like to see Lainey Wilson?
I heard that she love Lainey Wilson.
I mean,
everyone loves Lainey Wilson, but she has been a huge inspiration for me. I mean, I know like at one point she was, she talk about someone who paid their dues, but she like was told she was going to be a demo artist. Like she was
just a songwriter,
like all these things they tell you and all the things that we are already thinking in the back of our minds as artists and creatives. Like there's no question that I don't go a day without self-doubt, that I have to push past. I mean, it's reality. And it's like, whether it's late at night, usually I hate when it's late at night because there's no one for me. There's no distraction really. Or if it's like when I get up in the morning and I'm just not feeling right, like today I woke up and I was kind of down on myself. I went and did a freaking cold plunge. I was like, I got to get right. I got to get my mind right. I can't focus on that. But it's also like seeing her in this light that she's in and just really like we were talking about earlier, kind of like getting the fruits of her labor, of like working so hard and finally having reward. I feel like as an independent artist, you see little rewards that like keep you going, but it's really cool to see her perform. There's like an energy that she brings into every room that is incredible. Speaking of which, this is kind of a deep question, but you sparked it up in my mind. Yeah. So, you leaving pageantry where everyone is working extremely hard to be number one in South Carolina, now you transferred over to Nashville where musicians, you went kind of back to, being in that lineup again. You talk about 60 pageant ladies all wanting to, teenagers. That ain't nothing.
And now you moved to Nashville where you're doing songwriters rounds where you could be going up against people that have been in this town for 8 years.
Which, has happened already. Yeah.
And you're coming in, almost 2 years, around the Nashville area.
Yeah.
I mean, are you prepared for that type of like grind.
Yeah. I mean, I think I grind hard every single day. And I know that it's a different grind. Am I ready? I mean, absolutely. Like, I know that I'm ready for what's coming my way. But at the same time, I think I've come to know this business pretty well. I like to think, and then I learn new things every single day. But I've come to know the music industry well enough to know that it doesn't happen overnight. You might think that, like, some people who listen to country music might think Lainey Wilson came out of nowhere. We know that she's been working her ass off for years and years and years to be where she is now. And she's probably so happy and so prepared and so ready. But I know that it's like, it takes those stepping stones. It takes that time, and it takes that building, and you've got to be patient, and you've got to be ready for that next stepping stone that's coming your way.
I feel that I can only imagine what a person in this town for 8 years has done, where they've gone for so long doing what they love or pushing forward on their goal, being a musician.
Right.
All it takes is that one moment where
Literally.
someone sees you at CRS, and you get the opportunity and you jump past a lot of people. It's not a bad thing, though. It happens.
It happens. And honestly, like, that's one thing that I really am thankful for. When I moved here, I was like, I got into a hole on Instagram of like all of the female country artists in this town.
So many.
And seeing their following versus my following, and like, I'm like, I can't play that game again. Like, I've never been one to play the comparison game. I think each musician and each artist and each creative is
unique,
has their own unique thing and like their niche. And like, for me, it's like, I just know that I'm different than everyone else. I've always known that. It's been like a struggle in my life, but it's like, I'm okay with it now, and I actually love it. And so why would I think that everyone else isn't the same way? We're all going for the same dream and the same thing. So why tear each other down? Why not uplift one another? Like, when I'm in a writer's round, like, when the people beside me, I'm like their cheerleader. Like, I'm like, yes, like, because people are so talented, and like, there's no question there are people more talented than me, but it's really just like, I mean, it's hard work. It's consistency. It's a tone about who you know. And, you know, as I meet more people, I'm realizing that more and more. And it's also just like, it is, if it's meant to be or not. And like, that is something you just have to be okay with.
Well, you're giving it your all, and that's all anyone could ask. And, talking about, uniqueness and your unique sound, let's talk about some of your music.
Yeah.
So currently, as we're filming right now, you have Lifetime Lover.
Right. Yes.
And, talk to me about, writing Lifetime Lover. And first of all, you have a music video out for it, correct?
Correct.
And I mean, talk to me about, creating that music video and writing the song. I mean, how long did it take you to get the song produced and everything?
Yeah. So actually, on my Instagram page, you can see my friend Cass. She talks about how she wrote the song. I was about to move to Nashville, and she had gone through something so similar that I had gone through, of like dating someone that I thought was like my everything. And then it turned out wasn't. And then now she's married and she has a beautiful life. But I was in this place of like, what the heck is going on? Like, I thought I had everything planned out perfectly, and you realize that that's just not the case. And she dove in and wrote this beautiful song, Lifetime Lover. And it was very different, but I had my producers come in, and like, we kind of made it into like, kind of like my speed and my style. And it was like very like Taylor Swift driven, like the way that we have like two bridges at the end, like hyping up. But the song is super relatable. It really is. I mean, it's like, you think you're going through something in your life, and you think that is what, is supposed to be your everything. You have it planned out. And then it's like veer off, total curveball, whatever's going on. It could be work. It could be a relationship. It could be anything that you love. And you get thrown a curveball, and you're just kind of like, I had it all wrong. And it's how you grow. And it's really like a song that meant a lot to me, because I feel like I've grown so much in the past 2 years, and having her in my life has definitely grown me.
Do you think about, while you're creating these songs, right? Do you think, do you usually go into the studio? What is Kat's process at the studio? Are you first writing these places in your apartment, or are you enjoying going out and meeting songwriters? So what's the collaboration like right now?
So it's songwriters. I mean, I have a few songs right now that I've been working on with a really dear friend who's actually back and forth from Nashville, and Charleston himself was with BMI and ASCAP, and he's a phenomenal writer, Mel Washington. But him and I are doing a couple songs together, but it depends on where I am. If I'm feeling inspired, like I could be up for 2 days, like writing. It just depends. I don't have like a specific writing schedule, which I am thankful for. I know that like legit songwriters, like that is their profession. They have to write for a living. Yeah. But for me, it's like that is an outlet for me. And I'm so thankful for that outlet because it's a therapeutic outlet. It's a creative outlet that I have that I can work through a lot of the things that are going on in my life. And if sometimes a really crappy song comes out of it, most of the time, but sometimes a really, really good song comes out of it. And I've been writing so much recently. It's like the first time I've been like having songs really pour out of me. And I write by ear because I don't play guitar, or like I play a little guitar, I play a little bit of piano, but I don't play enough to write. And so I hear things by ear. So it'll be like literally in the middle of the night and I'll be like, okay, I'm not sleeping. I need to write. I need to sit down and just like focus on it. But right now it's like a lot of things are myself, but I don't take a song ever and take it into the studio with my producers until I've had 2 or 3 songwriters look over it, people that I trust.
What is dating like for a musician? I've always wondered that. What are the guys like that are musicians, and if you're a musician too? Because I would think you guys see each other all the time out.
I mean, I think that there are obviously jealous tendencies that can come up, but I don't really get jealous. I'm a very supportive person, I would say. I've taken a lot of different routes in my life, and I've really wanted that support from other people, so I try to give it back in return. But I think for me, I learned really quick, like, I can't date someone who has the same dream as me because I'm a very passionate person. When I do something, I go full force, and I love really hard, and I commit very hard to something that I'm doing. Incredibly passionate, go getter, but that hasn't always been me. I think that's like something that's come from my independence and come from me being single. So dating someone with the same dream and me wanting to come to Nashville, and like that was definitely a life lesson.
What does upcoming music look like for Kat?
I'm creating new music right now. So I'm kind of in this like limbo phase of like starting to create to where I'm like, okay, this is for next year. This is wild, because last year I have 4 songs. I've only released Lifetime Lover from those 4 songs that I've recorded, and now I'm already recording new music. So there's never going to be a space of time where I'm not putting out music. Okay. I think that's one thing that like left me a little bit empty, or feeling like I need to play catch up, if that makes sense.
What's the next single called?
So I have a single called Have You coming out, and then summertime single, literally Shania. Like this song, I waited because I was going to put it out last summer, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have time. Let me wait till next summer because this is a literal summer bop. Like, I'm not kidding. It's like you can't listen to the song without having your windows down. Like, if it's a rainy day, don't put it on. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, I think summertime, like you said, you want to get to know summertime, Kat. Like, summertime is when I'm the happiest.
So what are some of the key elements to summertime, Kat? What does that look like?
The boat, the ocean. I know I'm in Nashville, so I'm a little bit like landlocked to the ocean, but the ocean is my happy place. Growing up, near the water and being like always only an hour away from the ocean or living by the ocean. That has always been something for me that is a big therapeutic thing. But it's like whether you're getting in a car and you're going to the lake with friends, being by the water, whether you're going to the pool, whether you're outside, like just being outdoors and like feeling like the summer air. And like, I feel like people are always a little bit lighter during the summer. I don't know if that makes sense, but like for me, for instance, like it's when I'm the happiest, when I can have all my windows down, I can have my sunroof open, I can be with friends, we can be laughing. And there's a song that comes on that's just like, I want to listen to this, I want to crank this and hit the water.
Why Shania?
You'll see. I mean, it's just, I'm not kidding. Like, it's one of those songs where you hear it and you're like, wow, I need to be by the sun.
Got it. Okay. And
but also it talks a little bit about like graduation. Like, there's a story behind the song and it makes sense to when I release it. And I think that it will definitely relate to a lot of people who are graduating high school, who are moving on to next steps in their life. Like, maybe they're in a relationship or maybe they have a friendship and they're going to different colleges, whatever it is. I know like the tagline in the song is, I'll go ahead and tell you, is me and you and Shania. So it's like that one song. I don't know if you have that song with a friend or you have that artist with a friend that you guys like connect with. It's really cool because like it goes through kind of like a timeline with a person.
Yeah, it goes to the memories.
Goes through the memories, and I'm all about the memes. If you know me well, you know I'm like always going through my camera roll, like always about the memories and just like reminiscing on those times and like being thankful for them, but also like having a song to like bring you back to it. And that is so real for so many people. And that song is like, that is honestly
I love it. Thank you for letting us know that. Hopefully CMT is going to be promoting something of yours. I'm excited. Was that going to be Shania or is it going to be the next single?
It's actually my music video, Lifetime Lover.
Ooh.
Yeah, I worked really hard on this music video. I actually filmed it on my birthday. So it was like a month. I was only here in Nashville for like a month or two. And I had been planning this music video like a psychopath, like trying to get all extras, trying to get all these people, trying to get people out to like, you know, a farm in Nashville that I didn't even know where it was. So it was like, you know, getting actors, like it's a whole production that I'm putting on, but it's so cool because this, I mean, it's like you get those, it's those little wins we were talking about at the beginning of like an independent artist. It's like,
that's a huge win, by the way.
Huge win. This is the second video of mine that I have put out that has been on CMT. So
that's absolutely,
Call Me.
That's insane.
Yeah. Call Me was the first single, and that song or that music video was put on CMT, and it was such a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into that music video. So I was really thankful for that. And the same with this one. But this is one that I really felt like I did on my own.
So one thing about Nashville, if you have a People's cover, a CMT released music video, and if you have any kind of, you know, accolade of being on a radio show here in Nashville, that is a huge deal for an independent artist.
Huge.
That is not a normal thing.
No.
That is that's something that you worked extremely hard for.
Yeah.
And you reap the benefits because CMT reaches audiences nationwide, not just Nashville.
It's insane.
And, you know, speaking of that, because we have a section on the show called Crowd Noise where your friends ask you questions.
Yeah.
We're going to play that next. But my last question here around this music is, you know, as you are gaining traction, gaining, you know, all this new music that's coming out, you know, what are some cool playlists on Spotify that you've been featured on?
So I have been, oh God, like the last 5 or 6 songs that I have released, singles that I've released, have been on, every single one's been on Fresh Finds Country.
Wow, that's great.
Yes. And then New Music Friday, Country. I remember when I released Lifetime Lover, it was on the same playlist as Kelsey Ballerini's Penthouse. I was literally right there with her, and I was like crying my eyes out because I was like, that's insane. This album was nominated for a Grammy. Our singles were put out on the same day and on the same playlist. Like, that's so cool. And it's like little things like that, you know, as an independent artist, you keep telling yourself like, no, this is your purpose. You know, you keep getting little wins and like, remember those, humble yourself with them, but be excited and keep working.
What about stages? So what stages in Nashville have you not played yet that you're looking forward to playing, or what are some upcoming shows? I mean, obviously it'll be past when this is out.
Yeah.
But what are some venues that you're excited to play in 2024?
Yeah, I've done a lot of writers rounds, but this will be like my first one living in Nashville, where I'm getting to play my original music. I've got Bus Call on the horizon and Whiskey Jam as well. So yeah, it's really exciting stuff.
That's a big honor to get Whiskey Jam. Shout out to Ward out there, because if you're getting to play Whiskey Jam, you're joining a list of some top tier artists.
Oh my gosh, I know. And like Theo Vaughn goes every Thursday, like Monday through Thursday, and I'm like, if I see Theo Vaughn, I love comedy shows. So it's like, but also artists that have played. I mean, just honestly, it's just such an honor. It really will be just so cool. Yeah.
Who have you been around here in Nashville that just had a name, had stardom, that you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm right next to this person?
Oh my gosh. I mean, y'all, I was right next to Blake Shelton and I don't know why I'm blanking on her name, because she's one of my absolute favorites, his wife.
Oh,
how am I blanking on her?
Gwen
Stefani. I was right next to them last week. They surprised us at lunch for them to perform, and that was amazing. But I think also Frank Ray being one of my really, really good friends, Breland, people I've opened for, I just look at them as people, and that's cool. But also it's you get that little, those people like Blake Shelton, who's a legend, and Gwen Stefani, legend.
Breland himself. Breland, get on the show, man. It's Breland's one of those people that in Nashville, it's just the town is rooting for Breland.
Yeah, he was one of the first people Frank Ray was the first big artist I opened for. Then it was Shane Prophet, Breland, and Tiara Kennedy.
Oh, wow.
So when I opened for Breland, it was huge. I had so many people come out and support, and then he's just been a sounding board and friend ever since, and I absolutely adore him.
Speaking of which, we got to go into your questions for crowd noise.
Yeah.
So you ready to do it?
Let's do it. I'm nervous, but let's go.
What is a moment or an interview that you had that was really just a pinch me, I'm dreaming moment?
Oh my goodness. Probably a moment. Wow. A moment or an interview that I've had that is a pinch me.
Yep.
Probably the interview that I did with Robin Holly show. That was kind of it's a national interview, so that was really, really cool. And then them inviting me out to Detroit, to St. Jude, to their radio station was definitely a pinch me moment. Or singing on stage with Frank Ray and Breland. Those were definitely moments where I was mental picture of this to never forget. Them inviting me on stage to sing with them was moments that are just, they don't come by.
And they keep getting better. I promise you that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next question here.
Stage in Nashville has been the most intimidating to play?
A stage in Nashville that has been the most intimidating. I jumped on stage at Kid Rock's with a band that I knew one time, and it wasn't it's intimidating. It's large. I was on the main stage, so you can think about how intimidating that is. But I think I try to not get too intimidated and just enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
And because I feel as someone in the crowd, you can feel that you just want everyone to have fun, and you're up there doing what you love and you're having fun. But Kid Rock's is definitely it's a scary stage to be on.
I feel that 100%, and especially the people that show up at Kid Rock's. Every Broadway bar has their own vibe, has their own people that go to those bars. Not saying that there's anything wrong with Kid Rock's bar, because if you don't end up at Kid Rock's bar, you're doing Broadway wrong.
Yeah, what are you doing? If you're not
Jason Aldean's too. If you're not at Jason Aldean's, you're just not in.
Right.
There's what would you say is your, just real quickly, what are the top 3 bars on Broadway that you think everyone should experience?
Okay, so I think Kid Rock's, we already said it. Jason Aldean's is so fun. If you have a vibe, you'll find it at Jason Aldean's. There's a DJ on one floor, there's acoustic, there's full band. They've got everything. And then another one is, I might be saying this wrong, but I love the stage. I love the stage. And I also love, is it Richards?
But what's one tourist attraction that gets played out here in Nashville?
Y'all, I'm gonna tell you what. Hattie B's chicken.
Yeah.
I love spicy. You know, like I'm Spanish and Native American and white, and I have always loved spicy food. I don't know what it is. My parents have like grown up feeding us spicy food. I thought I could get the hottest chicken at Hattie B's and I would be okay. I was like, you know what? I love spicy. We're good. I was like in the shower, like anything that touched, like if it touched my skin, I was like in the cold shower. Like
How hot did you get? The hottest?
I got the hottest of the hot. So be careful with Hattie B's. I know like you'll go some places that'll say Nashville hot chicken. This is legit Nashville hot chicken. So like just forewarning for everyone who's going to Hattie B's. If they say hot, they mean hot. Like just you learn your lesson.
Go ahead. Here we go.
Your biggest musical influence?
Oh my gosh. This is a really hard question. My biggest musical influence in music or outside of music?
Let's say biggest musical influence in music.
Okay. So I have a few. Casey Musgraves is probably leading the top right now for songwriting. She's always been one of my
She's gorgeous, by the way. My gosh.
Freaking love her. Kelsey Ballerini, everything she just did was a huge inspiration songwriting wise. And then Taylor Swift has always been a huge inspiration for me just with everything she's done throughout her career and the way that she doesn't say fans necessarily. They're like a part of her life and family. Which
Are you
is
a
like,
Swiftie?
I am a Swiftie.
What is your era?
My era is Reputation.
Why does everyone say Reputation era? What is it about the Reputation era that's gotten everyone going crazy?
Like when she changed her life, I think. And that's like, I was telling everyone this last week at CRS. I was like, I always look at my life as like before I started music and after. Like there's a different person from before and after. So like, if you're asking me about before music, like I wasn't following my dream. I wasn't following my purpose. I had no idea who I was.
Question: What is the what's the album of Taylor Swift that you just do not go back to and listen to the most?
That I don't. That
you don't.
Probably that first album.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though
or
everyone
like
says they love it.
Yeah, I love it. But I mean, I'm telling you, I had the CD on repeat when I was younger.
Yeah.
Or like Folklore. I mean, it really just depends. I mean, she has so many eras. So it's like whatever you're going through, you can probably pick one. You know, that'll relate to your life.
I think of my younger sister, and shout out to Amanda that's watching this. If you're watching this, there's a lot of episodes. So I don't know if she's watching every one, but her Taylor Swift was Selena.
Yeah.
So Selena, she played that album nonstop. She watched the J-Lo movie nonstop. Yeah. And rightfully so. I love Selena. But you know, I can only imagine what your brothers must have dealt with listening to Love Story
over and over
and Taylor Swift. No disrespect to the Swifties out there. You guys already know I'm a fan of y'all, but I'm just like, dude, I can't listen to that first album. That first album sounds like I'm listening to a little girl.
Yeah, it's
like weird to me because, you know, my girlfriend will put it on in their car and I'm just like, I feel like I'm listening to some weird little girl talking about her problems, but I can listen to her music today because it's a lot more, I guess, pop, I guess, maybe.
And I think people that I'm kind of loving right now, like Cassie Ashton, she's one of my favorites. I've gotten to meet her a couple of times now through Frank Ray, but like she's just like that strong, independent woman vibe with her music, and I love that. And that's what I love about what Kelsey's put out, what Casey Musgraves has put out recently. It's like, I love the vulnerability of probably them being so scared to put those songs out with being who they are as artists already and feeling that with them.
I love that you're able to switch that there. So my last two questions on the show are pretty simple questions, okay? The first question is, how do you deal with hate? How do you not let it get you down? There's someone that's watching this right now that may have haters. But how do you not let it get to you? And how do you not let that little thing, voice in the back of your head not affect you every day?
So, I mean, let's just be real about it. It's going to affect all of us probably for the rest of our lives. I mean, you're close with someone or you're not close with someone and they're saying hateful things. You might not know them. They might be someone random on your account, or it might be someone really close to you or that you thought was really close to you. I've had all of the above. So let me tell you, there's no question that it makes me sad, that it gets me down. I mean, I think that that's okay to grieve in that moment of that and feel that. I think it's worse if we start not feeling our emotions and feeling the way that we actually feel. Because then we can get desensitized and we can not grow from them. I mean, these things happen to us, so we grow and we learn. But you're not going to understand it in that moment. But I always say, like, there's a reason for this. There's never been something, I've never had something happen to me that I haven't fully understood in like a couple years down the road, or not fully understood. I've been like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Now, if that person was still in my life, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Or if I wouldn't have, I mean, I'm a blocker, y'all. Like, I will block people like crazy. Like, if you're showing hate on my, usually you're not following me. So, like, what are we gaining here? Just for me to see horrible things about myself that you think, and I don't know you? It's not fair. So it's like, I don't like to have that energy or that in my life. I like to think positively. I'm very, very careful about the people that I have in my life already. So why would I allow that on social media? It's kind of like, I know that like our social media is a highlight reel of our lives, but I'm trying to make it as authentic and real as possible.
And you're doing that with your music. And so my last question on the show before we go to see your day in the life, which I'm excited to see what that is. What are you looking forward to the most, and what can the people out there right now expect?
Yeah, I am looking forward to this year being all about getting my music out there. I will be playing a lot of festivals over the summer. I will be playing a, hopefully, CMA Fest. Hopefully. We'll see about it, but I will be hopefully playing as many shows as possible this year. And in the meantime, I'm writing and really, really like praying over a lot of my music right now of like what needs to be heard from me. So I'm really trying to develop good music coming down the road, how I'm growing as an artist from the music I'm putting out now to what is next for me and what people need to hear. And what I need from them. I mean, it really goes both ways. So you guys can look forward to a lot of shows, a lot of live shows, a lot of hopefully more podcasts and interviews of people getting to know me in Nashville, and new music on the way, literally in your ears constantly. So
I love that. Okay, so one thing that, so the way that we tee off your day in the life is you look straight into that camera right there. I'm going to play an applause. You can't hear the applause, but I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
And the way you set it up is you say your name and you say, "This is how I walk the line." Just like Johnny Cash, okay? So that's the name of it, is Walk the Line. So like I said, say your name. And say, "This is how I walk the line." You ready to rock and roll?
Got it.
All right, look straight into that camera right there. And in 3.
Hey y'all, I'm Kat Velasco, and come with me and follow me as I walk the line.
Ooh, I love the spin on that.
Hi, welcome to Backstage at Exit In. This is my dressing room. Come on in. And now you can meet the crew, some of the crew. This is Fletch.
How you doing? Guitar.
Guitar.
Good to meet you. Yep.
This is Brady.
What's up? Drums.
Tristan.
What's up?
And Joey Myron. Oh, and then there's Ryan.
Hey.
I'm so excited. This is my first headlining show in Nashville, so for it to be at Exit In is just iconic. I've been emotional for the last like 2 days, I think, and I cried like the whole way over here, so I had to fix my makeup, but I don't know, it's just cool. I know when I first moved here, I was just like, I could never play a venue like that, I'll never see my name up there, you know, that kind of stuff, but it's happening, and it's just really cool, and I feel like I'm surrounded by the best people, and yeah, everything just like happens where it's supposed to, when it's supposed to, and
we're really excited. Shout out to the showroom in Nashville. They helped style me for this show, and it's so pretty, so fun. And the boots are my favorite. And then, oh wait, did you see that I signed my name? Come on. Check it out.
I need you guys to come a little closer for me. Well, I ain't the kind that kiss and tell, 'cause I know it won't go so well. But let your imagination fly. And I was thinking about the night we met, crossed my heart and I'll never forget the way it felt just looking in your eyes. I heard the stories that you know and you know, but I never believed that they were true. I was looking for a lifetime lover who was undercover with a bad boy look in his eyes. Always thought he'd wear leather jacket, have fatal attraction, honey. He would be an armored up night. Always thought that it'd be bad. We were taught when we were young that we should pack our bags and run. The second someone starts to treat us right, that we should wait till we have butterflies, a nervous system overdrive, eternally filled with warning signs. But I'm at home when I'm holding your hand, and I never believed it would be you. I was looking for a lifetime lover who was undercover with a bad boy look in his eyes. Always thought he'd wear a leather jacket, have fatal attraction, honey. He would be an armored up knight. I was looking for a lifetime lover who was undercover with a bad boy look in his eyes. Always thought he'd wear a leather jacket, have fatal attraction, honey. He would be an armored up knight. Always thought that it'd be bad. Always thought that it would hurt much more. Thought that good doesn't last. When I felt comfortable, I'd slam the door. But I've been wrong before, 'cause I was looking for a lifetime lover who was undercover with a bad boy look in his eyes. Always thought he'd wear a leather jacket, have fatal attraction, honey. He would be an armored up knight. I was looking for a lifetime lover who was undercover with a bad boy look in his eyes. Always thought he'd wear a leather jacket, have fatal attraction, honey. He would be an armored up knight. Always thought that it'd be bad. Y'all can dance. Always thought that it would hurt much more. Thought that good doesn't last. When I felt comfortable, I could slam the door. But I've been wrong before. How are you guys doing? I'm Kat Velasco. I'm super excited to be here.